Out of that filthy, disgusting Christian church, man. Calvary Baptist Church ain't doing nothing. St. Barnabas Catholic Church ain't doing nothing. You look at the streets of Yonkers, all you see is a lot of pain. That's what you see. You see gun violence, drugs. You see fathers not in the house, homosexuality. You see a whole bunch of things going on. I mean, we living in hell, y'all. This is absolute hell. You're dying of cancer, AIDS, monkeypox, everything else. I mean, hell, you came from Dominican Republic because you was living in hell. You came from El Salvador because you're living in hell. You came from Haiti and Ecuador and everything else because you're living in hell. Right. And guess what? All you did was come from one hell to a whole nother hell. You see all this killing going on Elm Street? You see all this killing and drug use going on Saratoga and Lawrence and Snowbomb and Whitney Young? Do you see all this murder, this killing, and this drugs? Do you see it? And it all stems back to the Christian church. That's what it all stems back to. That's why Yonkers is the 14th most depressed city in the nation. In the nation. 14th most depressed place. And why is that? Because we dying every day. You understand? Because we're just dying and hating each other, and that's why we can't see no hope. I know a lot of you, like, I wish these niggas would shut up. You know why? Because you're hurting. And we was hurt at one time too. We was on drugs too, and dealt drugs too, and our fathers was in the house either, and we went to jail too. We went through all that already. All we doing is showing you a way out. You understand? And this message is strictly for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans and nobody else. You understand? Because we the most hurt. All a white man got to do is go shave his beard and go be a CEO of a company in 3 days. Meanwhile, your black ass can't even get on the bus. You understand? You ain't even got insurance. Because we hurting out here. Give me Romans 1:25 real quick. You understand? It's time for Yonkers to be black again, to be Hispanic again. You understand? And get rid of the goddamn heroin and the crack and all of that garbage that we faced with, man. You understand? Going back and forth to Valhalla, going upstate to Sing Sing and everywhere else. Because we choose to be like the white man. We choose to be gangsters. You ain't no gangster, nigga. You wouldn't be in prison like this. You ain't no gangster. You wouldn't be going back and forth to jail. The white man's a real gangster. Haven't you ever heard of Thanksgiving? Haven't you ever heard of Thanksgiving? White people can kill and make a holiday. You piss outside and you going to jail. You drink a beer outside, you're going to jail. You understand? Because we're living in hell, and it's all because of your Christian church. Read.
The book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Who allows you to wear flip-flops and high heels and you a goddamn man? And you can sit up in the church and be the choir director. And you can go and send your children in the Bible study and they can get raped and molested. And you tell them to walk it off because Pastor Jenkins wouldn't do that. You tell them to walk it off. Your daughter's out there getting raped and molested and you think it's her fault because she got big breasts in the butt and she developed fast and you got a raggedy stinking boyfriend in there that's touching her while you sitting in the room somewhere smoking Newports and drinking Pepsi. You understand? Who made that okay? The Christian church made it okay. Say it again.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Pastor Jenkins did it. That pork chop, greasy head bastard, he did it.
Right.
He's the one that's destroying families and tearing us apart and changing the truth of God into a lie. God said you can't be a goddamn homosexual. God said you can't be a drug addict. God said you can't kill. God said you can't steal. But you choose to do it anyway. You know why? Because the Christian church allows you to do it.
Right.
You can say all the crack in the world. As long as you go to church on New Year's Eve and put some money in the bucket, everything's all right. Everything's all right. Your pastor can be married to another man as long as he can sing and get them past them scriptures correct. Everything's all right. As long as you feel good. Well, Christian church changed that truth. You understand? Keep reading.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
You serve man more than you serve God. You love that nigga that sell crack and give out turkeys more than you love God. You understand? Keep reading.
Who is blessed forever. Amen.
Go ahead.
Verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections.
So God said this. If you want to be a homosexual, Fine, you get AIDS. You want to be a drug dealer, no problem. You get shot over on Elm Street, and it's no problem. Right. Your family can't afford the funeral, so you're going to get cremated, and then what they do now, smoke the ashes now, don't they? Don't they smoke the ashes now? That's how broke we are. That's how hurt we are. Well, God said if you want to do that, go ahead and do it. You want to be a whore and have 50 kids by 50 men? Go and do it. Go and do it. You just be lonely and sick and depressed and hurt and get cancer from all them goddamn Newports. That's all that's going to happen. And we decided not to do it anymore because we read these scriptures and realized the lifestyle we was living was only going to put us in a goddamn grave sooner than we're supposed to. Read.
Come. For even their women did change the natural use unto that which is against nature.
Now, how does a woman change the natural use of nature? She takes her tongue and sticks it in another woman's vagina. That's how you change the nature of yourself. You're supposed to have goddamn kids in the family. Huh? Why come great-grandma was married for 80-something years? You can't keep a man for a week because you decided to change the true nature of a woman. Keep reading.
Come with God. And likewise, also the men.
Say it again.
And likewise, also the men.
The men change their natural use too. You ain't supposed to be no goddamn drug addict. You ain't supposed to be a drug dealer or a homosexual or violent towards another black man or Hispanic man. You can't be out here murdering and stealing and killing. You're changing your natural use, black man, Hispanic man, or how great you really are, and how great you're supposed to be. Right. You change that. And your Christian church is the reason why. Keep reading.
Sluggy. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the women, burned in their lust, one towards another.
You understand? Men turning one towards another, having sex with each other. That's their jail culture. That's where that sagging that pants and everything come, showing men your ass. You understand? That's homosexual. That's homosexual culture. For you be walking around with your pants sagging over that, showing another man your ass. That comes from jail.
Right.
It's called going in your trunk. We know what time it is out here. Read.
Men with men, working that which is unseemly.
It's unseemly for a man to stick his penis in another man's rectum. It's unseemly. It's unseemly to serve another black man, Hispanic man, or any man crack cocaine or heroin and watch them overdose as you cut it with fentanyl. To destroy another household, and you grew up in a house that was destroyed. That's not what a man's supposed to do, not a man of God. Read.
And receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was met.
And that's what's going to happen. If you want to live this type of lifestyle, you want to sell heroin and sell cocaine and cut it with fentanyl, watch a man overdose, destroy a family, molest children, rape, do drugs, you want to do all of that, then fine. When you get shot over on Elm Street, don't get mad when people walk over your body. And after they smoke a blunt, they forget all about you. You understand? You're going to sell heroin? Fine. You're going to go to Sing Sing prison, and your best friend is going to have sex with your wife. That's all that's going to happen. And guess what? You deserve it. And you deserve it, according to the Most High God. Read.
God. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind.
And that's all that's going to happen. You're going to keep that mind state if you want to commit violence, if you want to commit crime. You understand? You're going to keep that mindset. Everybody can't stand the police. You can't stand up. If you really can't stand the police, stop doing crime.
Right.
Stop keeping them employed then. You the ones keeping them employed. You the ones keeping them coming to the block, beating us up, and taking money in our goddamn pocket. It's you. It's you. You want to sell crack and heroin and do these things. Guess what? You're going to keep the cops employed. The very cops you claim you hate. The very cops you claim you can't stand. The very cops that harass and beat and kill Trayvon Martin and kill Michael Brown and kill George Floyd, we're going to keep them employed by doing wicked, disgusting things that your Christian church allows you to do, man.
Nobody tell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, sold packs, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord?